Why the Avengers didn't use the best strategy against Thanos. Because they couldn't. Not in that moment. Not in that war. You see, when the universe trembled under the shadow of Thanos, the Avengers weren't ready, not just in firepower or formation, but in spirit. The greatest heroes Earth had ever known were broken, scattered across galaxies, still nursing wounds that hadn't healed since they fought each other in an airport hangar in Germany. When the sky darkened and the Mad Titan made his move, they weren't a team, they were fragments of one. And fragments don't win wars. For those of you who have already subscribed over the last couple of months, thank you guys so much. We've been gaining subscribers here at Maxiverse Twist, and if you have not already, I also noticed that 99.6% is watching in this channel have not yet subscribed already. I would just kindly invite you to do so. It's like the #1 thing you can do to support me as a content creator in the channel. And of course, you gotta be subbed to see more latest updated videos. The first strike of a silent war. It started quietly. A missing ship here, a destroyed planet there. By the time the Avengers realized what was happening, Thanos was already deep into his conquest, wielding multiple Infinity Stones like gods once feared to do. Tony Stark, far above Earth, found himself stranded on Titan with a wizard, a talking raccoon, and a hot-headed space pirate who, though brave, couldn't hold his anger. Back on Earth, Captain America was leading a resistance with no army, defending a world that had no clue what was coming. The Avengers weren't ready, because no one could have been ready. Why they couldn't win the way they wanted. You might ask, why didn't they plan better? Why not cut off Thanos' hand? Why not destroy the stones first? Because battles aren't won with hindsight. Peter Quill's rage cost them the gauntlet. Wanda's heartbreak cost them vision. Thor's vengeance cost him the killing blow. Each misstep, each emotion, each human moment led them further away from victory. And yet, these flaws, they were what made them real. Thanos wasn't just stronger, he was colder, unwavering, calculated. While Earth's mightiest heroes were still holding on to love, to pain, to hope, Thanos was letting go of everything, even the daughter he claimed to love. He won, not because the Avengers failed at strategy, but because, in that moment, their hearts were still full, and his was already empty. The 1 in 14,605. But here's the twist. Maybe, just maybe, this was the best strategy. Doctor Strange saw it. Out of 14 million possible futures, he found only one path to victory. And it wasn't through brute force. It wasn't through a perfect plan. It was through sacrifice, through loss, through letting Thanos think he'd won. Because only by losing everything could the Avengers finally come back as more than heroes. As one. So, why didn't they use the best strategy? Because they were human. And in the end, it wasn't strategy that saved the universe. It was hope. Want to explore a what if, where they did use a different strategy? If the Avengers used the best strategy against Thanos, in a universe not too far from our own, the Avengers didn't wait. They didn't argue. They didn't fall apart. They planned. It started with Tony Stark, ever the futurist, who saw the storm coming long before the first spaceship darkened New York skies. After the fallout of Civil War, he swallowed his pride and called Steve Rogers. No hesitation this time. Just 3 words. We need to talk. And that talk? It changed everything. The alliance that never broke, instead of scattered heroes reacting to chaos, this time Earth's defenders formed a united front. The call went out. T'Challa opened Wakanda's borders earlier, sending vibranium tech to reinforce SHIELD. Doctor Strange contacted the sorcerers of Kamartaj to create safe zones around each Infinity Stone. Mystical fortresses beyond space and time. Thor, instead of crash landing in Wakanda too late, returned to Earth earlier, with Stormbreaker in hand and the Bifrost under control. But their smartest move? They hid the Time Stone. The Gauntlet Gambit Thanos arrived, just as arrogant, just as unstoppable. But this time, the Avengers weren't playing defense. They ambushed him. On Titan, instead of a desperate fight, Stark and Strange lured him into a trap. As Thanos stepped onto the surface of the dead planet, a spell snapped shut around him, a binding forged from Wakandan tech and Sorcerer Supreme magic. "You're not the only one who knows how to plan," Stark said, staring down the Titan. And while he struggled, elsewhere, The real masterstroke Thor and Wanda did what had to be done. They destroyed the Mind Stone before Thanos could even set foot on Earth. Vision smiled, not in fear, but in peace. And Strange? He handed the Time Stone not to Thanos, but to Captain Marvel, who flew it into a collapsing neutron star, erasing it from existence. No stones, no snap, the cost of victory. But even this perfect strategy came with a price. Gamora still died, so did many on Xandar and untold planets before the Avengers made their stand. The universe didn't escape untouched, just unsnapped. And though Thanos was beaten, trapped in a magical prison that looped endlessly, showing him the lives he stole, the Avengers knew. Victory doesn't erase loss, it only gives it meaning. So, was it worth it? In this world, the Avengers won, smartly, swiftly, with fewer lives lost. But the emotional scars? Still there. The sacrifices? Still real. And the question still lingers, is a perfect win still heroic if it costs your soul? The battlefield was never meant to be Titan, nor Wakanda, nor the ruins of the Avengers compound. It should have started much earlier, before the snap, before the heartbreak, before the universe shattered like glass beneath a Titan's fist. Chapter 1. The Seer's Warning. Dr. Stephen Strange stood in the silence of Titan, eyes fluttering through millions of futures. And then, he saw it. One path, one victory. But Strange didn't just see the outcome. He saw the cost. Tony's death. Half the universe gone, if only for a time. Friends turned to ash. Earth crippled. A Pyrrhic victory at best. Strange hesitated. Then he realized, what if they didn't follow that path? What if they made a new one? He broke the unspoken vow of silence. As the battle on Titan raged, he summoned Stark, Peter, and even Quill for a brief moment of clarity. There is one path, but what if we carved another? Chapter 2. The Titans' Plan. The plan was bold. Before Thanos could unite the stones, they would split up, not to fight, but to erase the possibility of his victory. Thor and Rocket would journey to Nidavellir, not just to forge Stormbreaker, but to craft a second weapon, one made to destroy stones themselves. Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, would scour the galaxy to intercept the stones before Thanos ever reached them. Speed was her weapon, cosmic power her shield. Tony, Shuri, and Banner would develop a portable multi-stone containment device, safer than the Gauntlet, faster than Thanos could imagine. And then, the wild card. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Her chaos magic could destroy Infinity Stones. She just didn't know it yet. Chapter 3. The Timeless Offensive. With Scott Lang's discovery of the quantum realm, a new plan formed. Take the stones before Thanos ever gets them. Back in time they went. Before Vormir claimed Natasha's life. Before the Time Stone ever touched Thanos' thoughts. They didn't just borrow the past, they rewrote the game. They didn't steal the stones to use them, they hid them. Scattered across dimensions, locked beyond even the Mad Titan's reach. By the time Thanos realized something was wrong, he was already too late. Chapter 4. The Battle Never Fought. Thanos arrived as he always would, but this time he found no stones, no gauntlet, no leverage. And when he tried to force Destiny's hand, he was met not with panic, but preparation. Wanda cracked his armor open like paper with a glance. Carol burned through his fleet like a comet of vengeance. Thor, this time, didn't hesitate. Stormbreaker and the Stonekiller axe tore through Thanos with unrelenting purpose. And Strange? He stood calmly, knowing that this was the true 1 in 14 million victory. Chapter 5. A universe saved, not avenged, no snap, no dust. Tony lived, Natasha lived. The universe moved on, scarred, but whole. The Avengers didn't just win, they outwitted destiny. Because the best strategy wasn't about being stronger than Thanos, it was about being smarter, and this time, they were. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe for more exciting Maxiverse Twist content.